The Echo of Destiny. Thunder rolled across the purple skies of Helios 9, but Commander Rhea Novak knew better. Those weren't storm clouds, they were the echoes of orbital bombardment. She adjusted her exosuit sensors, scanning the ridge ahead as another explosion lit up the horizon. After 20 years of military service, she'd chosen this remote mining colony for retirement. Now war had found her anyway. The impact site drew her attention like a beacon. Something had crashed through the atmosphere, but the energy signature didn't match either human Federation or Drachnid vessels. Rhea's combat instincts screamed caution, but curiosity won out. She'd seen enough death in her lifetime, maybe this time she could save someone instead. The crash had carved a molten scar through the planet's crystalline forests. At its heart lay a ship unlike any Rhea had encountered. Its hull seemed to ripple like liquid mercury, even damaged as it was. As she approached, a section of the hull simply melted away, revealing a dimly lit interior. "Hello." Rhea called out, her translator module active. "I'm here to help." A soft glow emanated from within, and then she heard it, the unmistakable sound of children crying. Rhea moved faster, her caution warring with urgency. The ship's interior was organic, almost alive, with walls that pulsed with bioluminescence. She found them in what appeared to be a meditation chamber. A tall, ethereal being knelt protectively over two small forms. The adult, clearly female, had skin like opalescent pearl and hair that floated as if underwater, despite the normal gravity. The children appeared similar, though smaller and with a silvery sheen to their skin. "Stay back," the alien mother warned, her voice melodious even in fear. "I will not let you harm them." Rhea immediately holstered her weapon and raised her hands. "I'm not here to hurt anyone. I'm Commander Rhea Novak, retired Federation Special Forces. Let me help you." The alien woman studied her with eyes that swirled like nebulae. "I am Syra, of the Celestian High Houses. These are my daughters, Luna and Nova." She wavered slightly, and Rhea noticed the spreading stain of silvery liquid, blood, on her side. "You're injured," Rhea stated, taking a careful step forward. "There's a medical facility in the colony. I can dash." "The colony will not be safe for long," Syra interrupted. "They are coming. The Void Hunters. They seek to eliminate all Celestian bloodlines." She looked down at her daughters, who couldn't have been more than what humans would consider 5 years old. "We are among the last." Another explosion rocked the ground, closer this time. Rhea's tactical display showed multiple ships entering the atmosphere. "Then we need to move. Now. Can you walk?" Syra attempted to stand but collapsed. "My life force ebbs. But my daughters." She reached out, catching Rhea's hand with surprising strength. "They are special, even among our kind. They carry the future of our species. Please, protect them." Rhea felt the weight of the moment settle onto her shoulders. She'd led troops into battle, made split-second decisions that determined life and death, but this was different. "I'm not exactly qualified for parenthood, Syra." The Celestian woman's laugh was like wind chimes. "Neither was I, until they were born. Sometimes the universe chooses our paths for us." Her expression grew serious. "They will need guidance, protection, and love. Will you give them these things?" Before Rhea could respond, her tactical display blazed with warnings. Multiple signatures were converging on their location. The Void Hunters had arrived. "Yes," Rhea found herself saying, surprising herself with the conviction in her voice. "I'll protect them with my life." Relief flooded Syra's ethereal features. She turned to her daughters, speaking in a language that made the air shimmer. The twins embraced their mother one final time, then turned to Rhea with eyes full of trust and fear. Rhea helped Syra to her feet one last time, supporting her as they made their way to the ship's exit. The Celestian mother placed her hands on her daughters' heads, transferring a soft glow that seemed to sink into their skin. "A mother's blessing," she whispered. "And a gift for you, Rhea Novak." Before Rhea could react, Syra pressed her palm to Rhea's forehead. Information flooded her mind: language, culture, warnings, and something else: power. When her vision cleared, Syra was smiling sadly. "Go," the Celestian mother commanded. "I will delay them as long as I can." Syra dash. "The universe has chosen you, Rhea Novak. Now run." Rhea scooped up the twins, their tiny forms surprisingly light in her arms. As she sprinted away from the crash site, the night lit up behind her with pure white energy. Syra's final stand would give them the chance they needed to escape. Luna and Nova clung to her silently, their small hands gripping her exosuit with unexpected strength. Rhea's mind raced with plans, contingencies, and the weight of her new responsibility. She wasn't running from the fight anymore, she was running toward a future she never expected. The universe, it seemed, had other plans for her retirement. Bonds forged in stardust. The underground bunker had served as Rhea's personal sanctuary for years. Now, as she sealed the reinforced doors behind them, it became their fortress. Luna and Nova stood close together, their luminescent forms casting soft shadows on the metallic walls. Their mother's sacrifice still hung heavy in the air. "You're safe here," Rhea said, activating the bunker's defense systems. The twins watched her movements with intense curiosity, their nebula-like eyes tracking every gesture. The knowledge Syra had transferred helped her understand their silent communication. Celestian children rarely spoke aloud until they reached adolescence. As Rhea began unpacking emergency supplies, she felt a gentle touch in her mind. Luna, the more outgoing of the twins, was attempting their species' natural telepathic connection. Images flooded Rhea's consciousness: hunger, confusion, worry for their mother. "Food first," Rhea said aloud, grateful for Syra's downloaded knowledge about Celestian physiology. She prepared a mixture of mineral-rich solutions that would sustain their energy-based biology. The twins accepted the glowing liquid eagerly, their skin brightening as they consumed it. The bunker's sensors pinged, detecting movement above ground. The Void Hunters weren't giving up easily. Rhea accessed the security feeds, watching the dark-armored figures sweep the area with energy detectors. Their helmets resembled abstract skulls, designed to inspire fear. Nova, the quieter twin, pressed against Rhea's side, trembling. Without thinking, Rhea wrapped an arm around her. "They won't find us here," she assured them both. "This bunker is shielded against every known form of detection." But the Void Hunters had brought something new. Through the feeds, Rhea watched them deploy floating orbs that pulsed with an ominous purple light. The sensors started screaming warnings: these devices were somehow phasing through solid matter. "Change of plans," Rhea muttered, moving quickly to the bunker's rear section. She pressed her hand against a seemingly blank wall, revealing a hidden chamber. "In here, quickly." The twins followed without hesitation, their trust in her already absolute. Rhea's heart clenched at the responsibility of it. The chamber contained her last resort, a modified stealth shuttle she'd kept maintained out of old habits. As they boarded, Rhea felt another telepathic touch, stronger this time. Both twins were reaching out, sharing their combined knowledge of Void Hunter capabilities. The images were frightening: entire planets reduced to ash in their relentless hunt for Celestian survivors. "Not this time," Rhea promised, powering up the shuttle's systems. "Not you too." The launch sequence would alert their hunters, but Rhea had planned for this. As the shuttle's engines hummed to life, she activated the bunker's self-destruct protocol. The explosion would mask their heat signature and hopefully take a few Void Hunters with it. They shot through the hidden launch tube just as the bunker detonated. Rhea's enhanced reflexes guided them through the debris field, using the chaos as cover. The twins held each other, their forms glowing brighter with anxiety. "Look," Rhea said, pointing to the viewport as they breached the atmosphere. Your first space flight. The simple distraction worked. Luna and Nova pressed their faces against the transparent metal, wonder replacing fear as they watched their first sunset from orbit. Their pearl-like skin reflected the dying light, creating tiny rainbows in the shuttle's cabin. But their moment of peace was short-lived. The shuttle's sensors detected multiple ships breaking orbit in pursuit. Ria's mind raced through options. They couldn't outrun the Void Hunters forever, and every safe harbor she knew would be watching for them. Then she felt it, another gift from Syra activating in her consciousness. Coordinates began flowing into the navigation system, plotting a course to somewhere impossible. The numbers made no sense, suggesting a route through uncharted space. Your mother, Ria said softly, understanding dawning. She gave us a way to the Celestian sanctuary worlds. The twins' eyes widened, their shared telepathic response filled with both hope and uncertainty. These coordinates could save them, or lead them into a trap. Ria had to make a choice. A warning shot from the nearest Void Hunter ship made the decision for her. Ria engaged the experimental quantum drive she'd never dared use, praying it could handle the strain. The twins held on to her chair as reality began to bend around them. Hold on, Ria whispered, punching in the impossible coordinates. We're about to make history. The shuttle shuddered as space itself seemed to fold. Through the viewport, stars stretched into lines, then twisted into patterns that hurt to look at. The twins' natural glow intensified, somehow helping to stabilize the quantum field around them. As they plunged into the unknown, Ria realized there was no going back. She wasn't just their protector now, she was their only chance at survival. The knowledge Syra had given her was still unfolding in her mind, revealing the true scope of what she'd inherited. The Celestians weren't just refugees. They were the guardians of powers that could reshape reality itself. And now, through some cosmic twist of fate, a retired human commander had become the guardian of their future. The stars continued to warp around them as they fled into the depths of space, leaving behind everything Ria had ever known. But as she looked at the twins, their eyes filled with trust and their minds gently linked with hers, she knew she'd made the right choice. The universe had chosen her path. Now she had to be worthy of it. Guardians of Tomorrow. The sanctuary moon hung like a jewel against the velvet of space, its surface a maze of crystalline forests and flowing energy rivers. After 3 weeks of quantum jumping through uncharted space, they'd finally arrived. But Ria's relief was short-lived. That's not good, she muttered, studying the sensor readings. The sanctuary's defense grid was offline, and the automated greeting protocols were silent. Luna and Nova pressed closer, their shared anxiety rippling through their telepathic bond. The twins had grown stronger during their journey, their innate abilities developing faster than normal due to stress. They no longer just shared emotions, they could project complete thoughts and memories. Sometimes, late in the artificial night cycle, they would share dreams of their homeworld, letting Ria see the magnificent crystal spires and floating cities of their lost civilization. We'll do a low pass first, Ria decided, engaging the shuttle's stealth systems. As they descended through the atmosphere, the true state of the sanctuary became clear. The crystal structures were intact but dark, their usual luminescence absent. No energy signatures, no signs of life. Luna's mental touch carried images of what the sanctuary should look like, teeming with Celestian refugees, its crystal towers pulsing with stored energy. Nova added her own memories, showing Ria the complex network of energy channels that should have been flowing beneath the surface. Someone got here first, Ria concluded grimly. But the lack of destruction suggested something else. They didn't fight. They evacuated. She landed the shuttle in a clearing surrounded by towering crystal formations. The twins insisted on accompanying her outside, their small forms floating slightly above the ground, another developing ability. Ria had learned to trust their instincts. The sanctuary's main complex was a cathedral-like structure of interwoven crystal and energy conduits. As they approached, Rhea noticed something odd. The crystals weren't dead, they were dormant. Luna confirmed this with a gentle touch to one of the structures, causing it to flicker briefly with inner light. Inside, the vast halls were eerily silent. The twins moved with purpose, leading Rhea to what appeared to be a central command center. Nova placed her hand on a crystalline panel, and suddenly the room hummed to life. A holographic message materialized, a Celestian elder, his form noble and ancient. If you are receiving this, the evacuation was successful, the elder's voice echoed in both sound and thought. The Void Hunters developed a way to track our quantum signatures. We could not risk them finding the sanctuary. But we left behind something vital, something they must never obtain. The hologram shifted, showing a massive chamber deep beneath the surface. The heart of creation, the source of our people's connection to the universal energy field. It cannot be moved, cannot be destroyed. It must be protected. Rhea felt the twins' excitement spike. Their mother had told them stories of the heart, but they'd never seen it. The elder's image continued, only those carrying the royal bloodline can access the heart's chamber. If you are seeing this message, you have such ones with you. Protect them. They are the key to our people's future. The message ended, leaving them in stunned silence. Rhea looked at the twins with new understanding. They weren't just survivors, they were royalty, possibly the last of their line. Luna and Nova shared a glance, then projected an image to Rhea, the three of them descending to the heart's chamber. Are you sure? Rhea asked. The twins nodded in unison. They understood the responsibility, even at their young age. More than that, they trusted Rhea to help them bear it. The journey to the lower levels was like descending through layers of history. Ancient inscriptions covered the walls, telling the story of the Celestian people. The twins translated for Rhea, sharing not just the words but the emotional resonance behind them. This wasn't just their history, it was the history of how their people had become guardians of creation itself. Finally, they reached the heart's chamber. Luna and Nova each took one of Rhea's hands, and together they stepped through a curtain of pure energy. The chamber beyond defied description. At its center hovered a sphere of what looked like liquid starlight, pulsing with colors that had no names. The twins approached the heart, their forms beginning to glow with matching intensity. As they touched the sphere's surface, knowledge flooded through their bond to Rhea. The heart wasn't just a power source, it was a nexus point, one of several scattered throughout the universe. Together, they maintained the very fabric of reality. The Void Hunters didn't just want to eliminate the Celestians, they wanted to seize control of these nexus points, to reshape reality according to their own dark vision. The twins' royal bloodline was the key to accessing this power, which was why they were hunted so relentlessly. As this revelation settled, warning alerts blared from above. The sanctuary's restored systems had detected multiple ships entering orbit. The Void Hunters had found them. Luna and Nova turned to Rhea, their eyes glowing with newfound purpose. Through their bond, they shared their plan. It was dangerous, possibly suicidal, but it might be their only chance. They would use the heart's power, not to fight, but to hide. Not just themselves, but the entire sanctuary moon. They had the bloodline, they had the knowledge from their mother, and now they had Rhea's strength to help channel it. As heavy footsteps echoed from above, Rhea made her choice. She knelt between the twins, taking their small hands in hers. Together, they reached for the heart of creation, preparing to attempt something that hadn't been done since the dawn of time itself. The universe held its breath. Legacy of the stars. Time seemed to stop in the heart chamber as Rhea and the twins joined their consciousness with the ancient power source. Through their shared bond, Rhea experienced the twins' transformation. Luna and Nova's forms became translucent, their bodies channeling pure energy as stars seemed to dance within their skin. The Void Hunters' heavy footsteps grew closer, but in this suspended moment, they felt distant and unimportant. Through the twins' enhanced perception, Rhea finally understood what they were attempting. They weren't just trying to hide, they were going to phase the entire sanctuary moon into a pocket dimension. Impossible, Rhea whispered, but the twins' confidence flowed through their bond. They had been born for this, their dual nature allowing them to balance powers that would tear a single wielder apart. What they needed from Rhea wasn't her strength, it was her stability, her human ability to remain anchored in physical reality while they worked with forces beyond normal comprehension. The first Void Hunter breach charges detonated above them, but by then the process had already begun. Reality rippled around them like heat waves over desert sand. The heart of creation pulsed with increasing intensity, responding to the twins' royal bloodline. Through their connection, Rhea witnessed fragments of ancient memory, the first Celestians discovering these nexus points, learning to become their guardians, spreading throughout the universe to maintain the delicate balance of creation. She saw how the Void Hunters had once been guardians themselves, before corruption and greed turned them into destroyers. Luna channeled the heart's energy outward, while Nova focused on maintaining their connection to physical space. Between them, they created something entirely new, a space that existed between dimensions. But the power was overwhelming, threatening to tear them apart. "Hold on," Rhea commanded, drawing on decades of military discipline. She became their anchor, her mind creating a framework of order within the chaos of pure creation. The twins latched onto this structure, using it to guide their powers. Above them, the Void Hunters breached the final door, their skull-like helmets reflecting the otherworldly light. But they were too late. The sanctuary moon had already begun to shift sideways through reality, leaving behind only empty space. The transition was not smooth. Reality fought against their manipulation, creating waves of temporal distortion. Rhea felt years passing in seconds, then seconds stretching into years. Through it all, she held on to the twins, refusing to let the power tear them away from her. When the shifting finally stopped, they found themselves in a space that defied description. The sanctuary moon now orbited in a pocket of reality adjacent to normal space. Through quantum windows, they could see both their original dimension and others, all slightly out of phase with their new position. The effort had taken its toll. Luna and Nova collapsed into Rhea's arms, their forms flickering between physical and energy states. But they were alive, and they were safe. The Void Hunters couldn't follow them here, at least not yet. As Rhea carried the exhausted twins to a regeneration chamber, she felt a new presence in her mind. The heart of creation had forged a permanent link between them, deeper than mere telepathy. She could feel the twins' powers growing, evolving into something unprecedented. In the relative safety of their dimensional pocket, Rhea began to understand the true scope of what they'd inherited. The twins weren't just the last of the royal line, they were the next step in Celestian evolution. Their dual nature allowed them to manipulate reality in ways their ancestors never could. Through the quantum windows, they watched the Void Hunters' ships searching futilely for any trace of them. But the Hunters' frustration masked a deeper truth that the twins had glimpsed during their connection to the heart. The Void Hunters were growing desperate because their own power was failing. Luna stirred in her sleep, projecting images of other nexus points throughout the universe, each one slowly dying as the balance of reality deteriorated. Without Celestian guardians to maintain them, the very fabric of spacetime was beginning to unravel. Nova's dreams showed what would happen if all the nexus points failed, a cascade of dimensional collapse that would destroy not just their universe, but all possible universes. The Void Hunters' corruption was causing exactly what they sought to prevent. As the twins recovered, Rhea studied the ancient records stored in the sanctuary's crystal matrices. There was a solution, but it would require something unprecedented, a true fusion of Celestian and human attributes. The twins' powers combined with human adaptability and determination. They couldn't hide forever in this pocket dimension. Soon, they would have to emerge and face the Void Hunters. But when they did, it wouldn't be as fugitives. They would be something new, guardians not just of a single nexus point, but of reality itself. Rhea watched the twins sleep, their forms gradually stabilizing as they adapted to their new powers. She had become more than their protector now. She was part of whatever they were becoming, a bridge between species, between dimensions, between what was and what could be. The universe had chosen well. Beyond the void. After 3 months in their dimensional sanctuary, the moment of emergence could no longer be delayed. The quantum windows showed them the truth, reality was unraveling faster than even the twins had foreseen. Throughout the universe, nexus points were failing, causing chains of dimensional collapse. Luna and Nova stood beside Rhea at the sanctuary's control center, no longer the frightened children they'd been. Though still young by Celestian standards, their time in proximity to the heart of creation had accelerated their growth. Their forms shifted constantly between physical and energy states, leaving trails of stardust in their wake. "Ready?" Rhea asked, though the question was largely ceremonial. Their bond had grown so strong that words were rarely necessary now. The twins nodded, their shared determination flowing through their connection. Together, they initiated the dimensional shift that would bring the sanctuary moon back into normal space. But this time, they weren't hiding. They emerged directly above the Void Hunter's primary stronghold, a massive space station built from the ruins of an ancient Celestian city. The Hunter's reaction was immediate. Hundreds of ships launched from the station, weapons charging. Through their quantum sight, the twins could see the corruption eating away at the Hunter's souls, a darkness that had begun when they first tried to seize control of the nexus points. "Remember the plan," Rhea said, activating the battle protocols she'd spent months preparing. The sanctuary's crystalline towers hummed with power, channeling energy from the heart below. "We're not here to fight. We're here to save them from themselves." The twins moved in perfect synchronization, their powers complementing each other. Luna reached out to the approaching ships, her consciousness touching the minds of the hunters within. Nova focused on the space between dimensions, preparing to channel powers that no single being could control. The Void Hunters fired their first salvo, but the weapons never reached their target. The twins had created a field of distorted space around the sanctuary, causing the energy beams to curve away into pocket dimensions where they could harm nothing. Through their bond, Rhea shared her own strength, her human determination helping the twins maintain control over forces that could tear reality apart. They weren't just defending themselves, they were preparing to attempt something unprecedented. Now, Rhea commanded, and the twins began their work. Luna's consciousness expanded outward, touching every Void Hunter simultaneously. Through her power, they experienced what she and Nova had seen in the heart, the true nature of the universe, the delicate balance they had sworn to protect, and the corruption that had turned them from guardians into destroyers. At the same time, Nova reached into the spaces between dimensions, finding the fraying threads of reality itself. Working with precision that would have been impossible alone, the twins began to repair the damage the Void Hunters had caused. But it wasn't enough. The corruption fought back, threatening to overwhelm Luna's mental connection. That's when Rhea made her move. Drawing on everything Syra had given her, everything she'd learned in their months of preparation, she added her own consciousness to the twins' effort. The human mind was different, adaptable, resilient, capable of accepting new realities in ways the ancient species never could. Through Rhea, the twins found a new way to reach the hunters. Not through ancient powers or cosmic forces, but through simple human emotions, hope, redemption, the chance to begin again. The effect rippled through space like a shockwave of pure light. Ship after ship powered down as their crews felt the truth. The corruption that had driven them for so long began to fade, burned away by understanding. On the station below, alarms blared as the ancient Celestian technology recognized what was happening. The twins weren't just stopping the hunters, they were transforming them, restoring them to their original purpose as guardians. The process took hours, during which Rhea and the twins maintained their connection, serving as a bridge between what was and what could be. When it was done, the hunters were changed. Not returned to what they had been, but transformed into something new, like the twins themselves, a fusion of multiple potentials. As the new guardians pledged themselves to restoring the failing nexus points, Rhea felt a final gift from Syra unfolding in her mind. A vision of the future, not fixed, but full of possibility. The twins would grow to lead this new generation of guardians, combining Celestian power with human adaptability. And she would be there to guide them, no longer just a protector, but a true parent to these children of the stars. The sanctuary moon took up orbit around the transformed station, its crystalline towers now shining with renewed purpose. In the heart chamber below, the nexus point pulsed with stable energy, the first of many to be restored. Luna and Nova turned to Rhea, their forms settling into a new state that was neither fully physical nor pure energy, but something in between. Through their bond, they shared not just thoughts or emotions, but a deep certainty. The universe had not chosen wrong. What now? Rhea asked, though she already knew the answer. The twins smiled, their eyes holding galaxies. Now, they responded in unison, their voices carrying echoes of both their Celestian heritage and their human upbringing. We begin. In the vastness of space, reality itself seemed to brighten, as if the universe was holding its breath for whatever would come next. The age of hiding was over. The age of renewal had begun.